So, good morning, everybody. I believe we are live. This has just jumped to the wrong place for me. So, it's good to have you. Good morning, Funda. Good morning, Patricia. I've got to find my place now. I was all organised and then I lost it. No, that's the wrong place, very definitely. You'll have to bear with me. I had a lovely Easter. I hope you all did too. So, hi there, Manisco, as well. Dear oh dear, let me and Vitali as well. You'll all have to bear with me for 1 second. I was organised and then I'm disorganised. So find April. Okay, this is the one we did last time. And Veggie, hi Veggie as well. Okay, yes, here we go. Yes, I've now found the right spot. Sorry about that. Okay, it's good to have you, and Tom K as well. Okay, so we are going to continue this article we were doing about going with your gut feelings, and I'm going to read you the last one we did. The reason being is that it has some bearing on the next question. Half the participants were asked to ignore their gut instincts and list all the hallmarks, features they would look for to determine whether the handbag was real or fake. The rest were told to go with their intuitions, to allow their feelings to guide their judgment. The researchers also questioned the participants about their buying habits and whether they owned many designer items. So, Ronan, good morning. Great to have you. And Umat and Williams, lovely to have you both here. Okay, so let's put the next question in place. Yeah, this is an experiment where they showed people some designer bags and some fake designer bags and asked them to decide which ones were real, and some of them they made think about it, and some of them they asked to just give their gut feeling. So let's rock and roll. For the participants using the analytical approach, their previous experience made little difference. They all performed circa, coarsely, roughly, sketchily, in the vicinity of the same. For the participants who had been asked to use their intuition, however, expertise made a huge difference, vastly increasing the accuracy of their gut reactions. Indeed, the experts using their intuitions were about 20% more accurate than those using analysis alone. So, for the participants using the analytical approach, their previous experience made little difference. Okay, so having lots of designer items didn't make a lot of difference. They all performed circa, coarsely, roughly, sketchily, in the vicinity of the same. So we've got lots of answers for roughly, for Vitali, for Maria T, for Tom K, and for Williams, and for Ronan as well. Okay, so what is this word coarse? Coarsely, C-O-A-R-S-E. What does this one mean? Okay, so let's look at these. Circa, we use this word to talk about dates. So this house was built circa 1920. Yeah, it's circa we use for an approximate date. Yeah, hi Umar, great to have you. And Patricia goes for roughly as well. So what about this word coarse? Yeah, and Funda goes for roughly as well. Okay, in the vicinity of, in the area of, but particularly for places. I don't know where John is, but he's somewhere in the vicinity. He's somewhere in the general area. Coarse, as in coarse fabric, coarse language. Notice P. with the A, the spelling is different, Patricia. Yeah, it sounds like coarse, but it's written OA. Yeah, if something is coarse, it's not very refined. It has a very rough surface. It's not with thin or small pieces. And sketchily, well, a sketch is a quick drawing. And normally we say, I remember this sketchily. Yeah, yeah, I don't remember it very well. Yeah, I have a sketchy memory of this. Yeah, so normally if we say something is sketchy, we say it doesn't have many details. Yeah, information is very sketchy. Okay, but from a sketch, just a quick drawing. So, I didn't write the right answer. So, roughly. Yeah, it should be in capital letters. ROUGHLY. Okay, so roughly, more or less, approximately. It's suspect, yes. Hazy. That's a good synonym, Patricia. I love it. Sketchily, hazily. I remember this hazily. I remember it sketchily. Yeah? But roughly, approximately. Yeah? Could you give me a rough idea? This is a rough estimate. Also, rough can mean a bit violent as well. Yeah? The match was very rough. Coarse and coarse are homophones. Absolutely. Thank you, Vitali. That's perfect. Okay, so Vinod Vincent from Clayton State University, Georgia, found very similar results when he looked at employers' recruitment decisions. He gave, submitted, delivered, served, presented participants with sample answers from a range of candidates applying for positions in healthcare and asked them to pick the best choice. Okay, so let me read it again. Vinod Vincent from Georgia found very similar results when looking at employers' recruitment decisions. He gave, submitted, delivered, served, presented participants with sample answers from a range of candidates applying for positions in healthcare and asked them to pick the best choice. So, this is very good. To live rough, to sleep rough, Vitali, as well. To sleep on the street. So, we've got presented for Maria T, for Patricia, for Tom K, for Ronan. Hi, Racine. Great to have you. Yeah. So, hi, Racine. And Williams goes for presented as well. Okay. So, there's one very big question with this. Why must it be presented? Let's see. To serve. Supplemented. Hi, David Lutz. Supplemented. No. Provided. Very definitely. To submit a report. Thank you. To submit a report, to submit an essay, yeah, is when something is expected from you and you need to give it, yeah. To submit a form. Okay, it can't be gave because of this with. Hi, David. Great to have you. Okay, it's presented with, to present somebody with something. Delivered. Well, the postman or the UPS delivers things. Presented. Yeah, presented participants with sample answered. Delivered goods. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, but remember with presented, you present someone with something. Yeah, or you present something to someone. Okay, so it's definitely to present with. As in Dane's experiment, some were asked to go with their gut instinct. Notice this go with. Your decision should be based on your first impression about the candidates, they were told. Others were asked to use concentration, deliberation, carefulness, review, logic and analysis. Carefully consider all available information before making a decision, these were told. Ignore any first impression or gut instinct. Stand and deliver. Yes, this is the highwayman. Dick Turpin, stand and deliver. This is what the highwayman used to say. He would stop the coach and make the people get out and say, stand and deliver. Yeah, give me your goods. Roadmap, blueprint, framework. A roadmap is the general course, the plan that you're going to follow. A blueprint, more specifically, the blueprint for a machine, yeah, or the blueprint for a house. It's the exact design made by the architect or the engineer. And a framework is more like the scope, the area that you're going to work on something with. So good morning vibes. No, for you it's good afternoon. So, others were asked to use concentration, deliberation, carefulness, review, logic and analysis. Okay, so Maria T says concentration, Tom K says carefulness, review says Vitali, Ronan goes for review. He says, I think it goes better. This one's great. I love it. Notice, there are three words. Logic and analysis. Yeah? This is quite interesting. Okay, so, well, people are still thinking. Yeah? And David Lutz goes for deliberation. That's great. So we've now had concentration from Maria T, carefulness from Tom, Vitali goes for review and so does Ronan. David goes for deliberation, Patricia goes for review. Noun, noun, noun. Noun, noun, and noun. It's 4:40 in the afternoon. Okay, that's good. You see, it's a good time for the Far East. Thank you, a drop. Okay. So, let's see. Carefulness. I think to be careful is slightly different. Vibes goes for deliberation. Good afternoon, Manji. Great to have you. If you're careful about something, you do it with concentration. Yeah, you concentrate on it. You make sure you do everything correctly. And I don't think carefulness is definitely the right one. I think concentration, again, this is you concentrate on a task, you focus on it. Yeah. So concentration. There's an Oxford comma missing after. Okay, that's interesting. But notice, Vitali, with the Oxford comma, either you should always use it or you should never use it. The Oxford comma, logic and analysis. I suggest all of you look at the Oxford comma. It's quite a complex issue. I could put a comma there or not. Okay, I've got a great video on the Oxford comma, by the way. Okay, so it's definitely between deliberation and review. And we've got deliberation for Williams, for Funda, for Manji, and for Vibes, and for David Lutz. Well, the answer used in the original article was deliberation. Although looking at it, I think this answer of review might also fit. Yeah, and I'm going to take review as a second answer, and I think review is perfectly valid. Yeah, because review, you go through all the things in your mind, although it's less common to use review as a noun. And you've gone for deliberation, P. Okay, you're using the German comma. Okay, this question of and, yeah, is whether they mean logic and analysis together, or they mean logic, comma, and additionally analysis. Yeah. Okay, this Oxford comma is an interesting question, but let's go on with it. A Harvard comma or a serial comma? Yeah. So, Bunny, and all the rest. I've definitely got one about the Oxford comma. So let's see. My parents are my parents are Paul and Linda McCartney. So is it my parents, Paul McCartney and Linda McCartney, 4 people, or is it my parents, comma, Paul McCartney, comma, and Linda McCartney, or my parents, comma, Paul McCartney and Linda McCartney, without the comma, says my parents are Paul and Linda McCartney. And that's the idea of the Oxford comma. Okay. For undergraduate students who had no experience in recruitment, it was possible to work out which candidates stood out. But they needed to apply deliberation, survey, inspection, scrutiny, weighing out, weighing in, weighing through, weighing up, the pros and cons of each one when they attempted to use their, each one, full stop. When they attempted to use their intuition, they were generally less accurate. So for undergraduate students who had no experience in recruitment, it was possible to work out which candidates stood out, but they needed to apply different survey, inspection, scrutiny, evaluating, weighing out, weighing in, weighing through, weighing up, the pros and cons of each one. When they attempted to use their intuition, they were generally less inaccurate. So, Vibes goes for scrutiny and up, Vitali for scrutiny and up, Maria T for scrutiny and way up, Slow March goes for scrutiny, Ronan for up, Tom K inspection, Patricia for scrutiny. I'm going to Funda for scrutiny and up, Manji for scrutiny and up. I think this one was a reasonably easy one. Yeah. Okay, so survey. To survey is when you ask people questions or you look at a situation, you survey a scene. Yeah, so survey, you're asking people's opinions. No. Inspection. I think inspection is much more physical. You inspect something, you look at all of the individual pieces. Yeah? Okay, whereas scrutiny, you're looking at something and thinking about it. You're thinking about it very constantly. So we had scrutiny for Bunny and for up for Patricia. So the answer to the first one is scrutiny. Yeah, is to pay attention to something, is to scrutinize as the verb. And then the second one, to weigh up. Scrutiny for Ronan as well. That's great, Ronan. Okay, to weigh up the pros and cons, to evaluate the pros, the positive things, and the cons, the negative things. Yeah, so this is to weigh up a situation. Here, by using scrutiny, they weigh up the different things. So inspection, I don't like so much. Funda, because I think it's more looking at tangible things, whereas I think scrutiny is evaluating or weighting up. To scrutinize somebody's expression. Very good, Patricia. in elections, when they count the votes, very often they have scrutineers. These are people from the different political parties that check the votes are being counted in the correct way. Yeah, so they scrutiny. To rig in the meaning of fishing. To rig means to equip. You're talking about the rigging of a ship. Yeah? To rig something, to put all the lines or all the ropes or all the threads in the right place. So, Vitali says, Trump, Obama and Clinton went for a drink. They did it each on their own. They did it each on their own step. Okay, so let's see. This was not the case for experts who had worked as recruiters in healthcare staffing companies. Vincent found that they had very accurate gut instincts of which candidate would be most appropriate without needing to think step by step, little by little, bit by bit, inch by inch, through all the different criteria. To rig elections, very definitely. Yeah, to rig a game, to rig a lottery. To inspect somebody's work, yes, exactly. It's to look at something visually, to see how it is visually. Whereas scrutinize, you're thinking about things as well. Yeah, thinking that everything is correct and as it should be. It was fine to rig an election. Yes, to rig a game. The match was rigged. Match rigging by footballers. So, we've got step by step for Vitaly and Maria T. We've got little by little for Ronan. We've got bit by bit for David Lutz. And Patricia goes for step by step. This is interesting. Okay, so do you think, in this case, these are experts thinking about the qualities of different candidates, and they have a lot of experience, and they're told to do this with their gut feeling instead of good morning Katya, and step by step for Manji. Little by little, would it work? Bit by bit for Katya. So, to think step by step, to think little by little, to think bit by bit, to think inch by inch. Firstly, I have to say that all of these answers work. Yeah, they're all possible. But I definitely think that step by step is better. Step by step. I haven't written it in capitals. Let's try that again. Step by step. The reason is that all of these others mean to do something slowly. Little by little, I made improvement. Bit by bit, I made improvement. The traffic moved forward inch by inch. And all of these are saying slowly. And I think they all are valid. But in this, these are experts. And normally an expert will have a process. And therefore, step by step, first we do the first step, then we do the second step, then we do the third step. Yeah? And you might do something step by step, but very quickly. Yeah? So I think the other three words, little by little, bit by bit, and inch by inch, all have the idea of doing it slowly. Step by step can be slowly as well, but also it's following the logical established process. And that's why, okay? So to do something step by step, first you do the first step. Yeah? Step by step, it may be slow, but not necessarily. Yes, the rest of the options mean gradually. It's gradually and slowly. Here. Okay. So that's it. A little by a little. Small by small bit by small bit. So let me read this because we're already getting answers. And the more experience they had, the better they were. If you are an expert, you will know all the mannerisms, eccentricities, idiosyncrasies, anomalies that may make a candidate good at the job, even if it's hard to articulate. Says Vincent. So po a po, same meaning. I think to me, po a po, this to me sounds like Italian. Yeah, maybe po a po exists in English, but step by step for this one. We did it step by step. Yes, we followed the process. That's the idea. Okay, and the more experience they had, the better they were. If you're an expert, you will know all of the mannerisms, eccentricities, idiosyncrasies, anomalies that make a candidate good at the job, even if it's hard to articulate. So this one's interesting. And Vibes goes for eccentricities. Tom goes for mannerisms. David goes for mannerisms, Maria T for mannerisms, Ronan for idiosyncrasies, and Vitali goes for idiosyncrasies as well. Great to have you here, Mukul. I'm glad you made it. I think this one's quite difficult. And Manji goes for idiosyncrasies as well. And Patricia goes for idiosyncrasies as well. We're starting to get a thing. So let's look at this word mannerisms. A mannerism is the way somebody acts. It's very often to do with their physical behavior, or their way of doing things, and mannerisms is more to do with behavior, so people have different mannerisms. Mannerisms are derogatory. Thank you very much, Vitali. Okay, and Funda goes for mannerisms. Eccentricities. Okay, Katya's gone for idiosyncrasies as well. Okay, if somebody is eccentric, it means they're a bit weird. And if something's eccentric, this is a bit critical as well. And, well, I think eccentricities might work. An eccentricity, a strange thing. And Aditi, hi Aditi, goes for mannerisms. And Minati as well goes for mannerisms. So Aditi for idiosyncrasies and Minati for mannerisms. Idiosyncrasy is quirky. But notice an idiosyncrasy says that this is something unusual, something that is special. Something that is different, that is not in the normal run of things. You see, I think eccentricities are strange and slightly negative characteristics. Whereas idiosyncrasies is more neutral. Okay, so for me, very definitely. The vicissitudes of life. Well, this talks about the ups and downs, so I'm going to write the answer. Idiosyncrasies. I think I spelt that right. And an anomaly is something that is just out of the normal. So that's very good. I like that a lot, Patricia. Cutely quirky, sexy is an idiosyncrasy. So, for example, one of the idiosyncrasies of the iPhone is it's only got one button. And if it's only got one button, most phones have two or more. So idiosyncrasies, very definitely. If you say it's eccentric, it's a bit weird and it's a bit bit strange. Okay, so if somebody keeps a pet snake, that's an idiosyncrasy. Or bizarre. Bizarre for eccentricity. You get the context now. Eccentricities was your initial thought before reading fully. Yes, so very definitely. If somebody's eccentric, you're saying they're a bit strange and I'm not quite sure about them. Whereas idiosyncrasies could be negative or positive. It's a neutral word. Anomaly means strange, and I think mannerisms, it talks about characteristics of something. But is a little bit negative. Okay, the default setting. Oh, I love that. Default setting. I love that for mannerism. That's very good. Okay, so that was some really good words. Let's try the next one. Because the next one you should all get right. Yeah, but it's not an easy one. Okay, so idiosyncrasies, the special, unusual characteristics that make a candidate a good one. Okay, Vincent emphasizes that people's gut instincts should not replace analytical thought, and we should be aware of the fact that they can sometimes be wobbled, lurched, bent, swayed by unconscious biases. Anomaly is often used in biology. Yes, anomaly is something out of the normal. It's not, and out of, and normal. So it's out of the normal. Here, Vincent emphasizes that people's gut instinct should not replace analytical thought, and we should be aware of the fact that they can sometimes be wobbled, lurched, bent, swayed by unconscious biases. I'm very proud of all of you. We've seen this word swayed several times. A Manx. And you've got the right answer. Yes, this is going to be the last one for today, Ronan, but thanks for coming. So, swayed is definitely the answer. So what is this verb to lurch? Wobbly knees. When something wobbles, let me make the camera wobble. Yeah, if I touch the camera, it wobbles. It moves backwards and forwards. Yeah, to lurch is to move very suddenly. The train lurched. The car lurched. It's a sudden movement. To bend, well, you're not bent, you're swayed. Sway, to persuade. So we've got swayed for Vitali Minati, for March, for Vibes, for Ronan, for Manji, for Tom, for Patricia, for Katia. Okay, and a cat without a tail is an anomaly. It's a Manx cat. David Lutz, swayed, affected, absolutely. To sway, to be affected by something, to be persuaded by it. Wobbly knees. Gut instincts are not always correct. I'll go into that in a second, Minati. Lurched forward. In the Addams family, the butler is called Lurch, and that's because I think as a Frankenstein his movements lurch. Lurched forward. Aditi for swayed, Funda for swayed. It's a pleasure, Vitali. I enjoy it, and thank you all for coming. It's been a great thing. Bent down, bent backwards. So the moral from this research is, if you're an expert in something, then you should use your gut feeling. If you're an expert, don't use your logic, just use your instinct. If you don't know anything about it, then your gut feeling is no good. So, all of you speak very good English, and therefore when you don't know something, guess. Use your gut instinct, because all of you know a lot of English, and your gut instinct in English is very, very good. With these words, when you don't know the right answer, go with your gut instinct and you will be correct more times. But that's because you are experts. So use analysis and logic when you don't know, you're not an expert in the situation. But when you are, use your gut instinct. So, lurch, stagger unsteadily. It's a pleasure, Isaac, to lurch suddenly from Tom K. Sway with me to sway in the wind. I hope 110 tomorrow. I think it'll probably be the next day. The lorry lurched over the bumpy road. Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. It's been brilliant having you. I will be back again on Sunday evening, inshallah, God willing. And thank you all for your constant support. And it's been brilliant to see you. So I hope you all stay safe and look after yourselves. So I'm going to cut the sound, but